This is huge for the Buffalo Bills, who just took down the Pittsburgh Steelers in a game they absolutely needed to win in order to stay in the AFC playoff picture. And I'm going to tell you all about the game and what it means for their future and for their playoff implications down the road. Hello, everyone. I'm Josh Schreiber here for Bills Digest, and we finally have a fun video. It's been a long 10 days since the Bills really got the game handed to them in the Texans game, and they just couldn't get it done. Absolutely a brutal loss to go to 7-4. They were facing a potential situation where they would have been out of the playoff picture had they lost today's game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they avoid that conversation, and there are some very important talking points in this game because it started off very shaky for the Bills, but they were able to get things done. The defense stepped up in the second half against an ailing Pittsburgh Steelers offense, and then the offense for the Bills did what they needed to do in order to stay alive. They had possession for most of this game, and it is going to be a fun video, so stay tuned for the entire thing. And before we get started, a reminder, about 1,700 of you guys are subscribed. That is the first time we've reached the 1,700 mark. The last video, we got quite a few subscribers, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you are a Buffalo Bills fan, because we are in the playoff push and you want to get your updates as soon as possible. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's dive into the video. The Buffalo Bills win this game 23-7. I took the screenshot about 3.5 minutes before the game ended just because the game was out of hand at that point. And you see how this game started. The Bills scored just 3 points in the first half, and the offense looked absolutely horrible. They were not moving the ball at all unless James Cook was getting a chunk play on the ground. Ray Davis had some really nice carries, but did not get the ball a whole lot considering how well he played. And, you know, that has been a topic of conversation this entire year, and I'll get into that a little bit more as the video goes on. But then in the second half, they outscored the Steelers 20-0, and it all started because of Christian Benford, I should say, who started off the first half immediately with a fumble recovery and a touchdown thanks to a really menacing sack by Joey Bosa that kind of honestly ended this game because of the way that he took Rodgers out of the game for one series, and Mason Rudolph was absolutely horrible on that one series. So it gave the Bills a little bit of wiggle room. And it also, it got the offense, I think it took the pressure off them a little bit because they had not scored a touchdown yet in the game. They were losing 7-3. They were giving the ball back to the Steelers to start the first half, or to start the second half, I should say. And to get a touchdown in that way, it's such a sigh of relief for the offense, who's able to just play from ahead, which is the way they're designed to play, and just dominate the second half, which is what they did. And I do want to give a shout out to Christian Benford, who got an interception on Mason Rudolph on the next drive, had a fumble recovery for a touchdown and an interception. He has looked like himself these past few weeks, and that is a really welcome sign for a Bills team that has really struggled in their secondary. As far as the team stats go, just a dominating game. This was, again, with about 3.5 minutes to play, but the game was over already. 364 yards to the Steelers, 163. And the Bills had possession for over 40 minutes. The Steelers had possession for just 17 minutes. So anytime that happens, even when you turn the ball over twice, that's a sign that your defense is getting off the field quickly and your offense is sustaining long drives. You see the 26-10 first down number, a big sign of those long sustained drives. 16 rushing first downs as well, and just not a dominant performance by the offense when you look at the score itself. just 26 points, and 7 of those came off of a defensive touchdown, but just able to control the game is all they needed to do in this one to get a W. And then this ended up being, at the end of the day, a decent game for Joe Brady, although I can't forget the first half where they were playing like a service academy would on offense, where they weren't throwing the ball down the field past 5 yards whatsoever. They did one time to Brandon Cooks for a first down completion, and then that was the third play of the game, and then the interception that Josh Allen threw to Gabe Davis, that was a bad throw by Allen. Can't put that one on Joe Brady, but definitely a shaky first half, to say the least. A lot of those screen passes, but then in the second half, they were able to just dominate on the ground. So I guess give him credit for that, for not doing too much and for adjusting. But a lot of it was also just the players made the plays, and that's part of it. I still have significant concerns about Joe Brady going forward against a better team. This is a Steelers defense that has been horrible this season, and I know they have the persona of being a really good defense, but that is just not who they are this year, the Pittsburgh Steelers, I mean, and we're going to need to see the Bills do this more against better teams for us to feel any sort of confidence for Joe Brady. But what he was able to do successfully was draw up some plays for James Cook to do his thing, and he absolutely did. 100 yards today for the 7th time this season. He has been on an absolute warpath, just dominating teams. Over 1,100 yards on the season now, and that is just rushing alone. And then if you want to bring in the passing game stuff, he led the Bills with 33 yards today, which, I know 33 yards is quite honestly pathetic for a leading receiver, but at the end of the day, they got the job done. They won the game. That's all we can ask for, and James Cook was doing it all for this team. He has been a savior for this Buffalo Bills offense. Another notable part of this game was Keon Coleman, who had the only touchdown catch of the day for either team. It was really an incredible play by Josh Allen to pump fake a defender out of his shoes and then find Keon Coleman in the back of the end zone, who, to Coleman's credit, he stuck with the play on the scramble drill. He was able to find some open grass in the end zone for the touchdown. Really nice confidence boost for him, and hopefully he can use that to his advantage, because they badly need some sort of a receiver to step up. And although he did not have a good game, he did have that touchdown. So got to give him credit there. And then let's talk about the leader of this team, Josh Allen. Psycho Josh Allen is back. I'm officially declaring it. He didn't have a great game, but he made some incredible plays. And after his interception on the first drive, he was really, really solid. He didn't really have to throw the ball down the field at all, but he made some really nice plays with his legs that we have not seen him do in quite a while. That was really a welcome sign for him and for the Buffalo Bills as well. And for the first time this year, he was showing that emotion that we saw from him back in his younger days. Since then, he said, he has really tempered those emotions and really been calm throughout the entire game. But you could tell that the criticism was weighing on him a little bit, and he felt really pumped up to get going in this. Also, he was really giving it to Cameron Hayward, who is an absolute stud. Really, he's a Hall of Famer, and Cameron Hayward was very upset with something Josh Allen was saying to him all game long, and Cameron Hayward did almost nothing in this game. So Josh Allen won that battle, and do have to give Allen a shout out, because he did something today that no quarterback in the history of the NFL has ever done, and that is he rushed for his 76th career touchdown, and it was vintage Josh Allen, just bullying his way into the end zone. The most rushing touchdowns in the history of the NFL for a quarterback. He is absolutely credible. He is an animal, and just a congratulations to him are in order. But this is going to be a little bit of a quicker video for a post-game recap. But let me know in the comments, what was your favorite part of this game, and what do you need to see from the Bills for the rest of the season if they are going to have a chance at the Super Bowl. But it's always a good night when the Bills win. We'll have Victory Monday tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in to Bills Digest. Like, subscribe right up there, and we will see you next time.